So the first technology that I came across is it's called a peer.in, and that's actually the URL to the piece of technology. It's completely browser based, and it's free, open source, and what it really does is it really creates a chat room that allows students to use video, audio, and chat or text, as they call it today, to really create a cool, collaborative environment. I really selected this particular resource because we hear it every day. A lot of people aren't ready to jump onto the online education world. They say it doesn't allow for communication. It just doesn't give that true feel of transferring knowledge. So the reason I selected this was to show that, whether you choose this to utilize it online or if you choose to break your students out into different sections, and you may have a group of students on the computers. This is a great resource where you can give them a URL and they'll have access to audio of one another, video of one another, and they also have a chat room. So if they're playing a game or doing research and you want them to stay focused, instead of yelling at each other and shouting, this will allow a nice, calm environment that'll allow them to communicate. So it's called a peer.in, and that's the URL right here. And so it's actually pretty simple. It's free, open source, browser based, and you don't even have to sign up. So the first thing you do after you navigate to it is you just pick your URL. So for example, we'll input AEP 800. And then we're going to click start, and what that's going to do is that's going to start creating our own private room. You may have to click, to allow the microphone, and there it is, it's working. What's really neat about this is you can share the URL and anybody can join, up to 8 people. So in that event that you do have to break your students out, this will be a really cool resource. So for example, I actually have another computer here that I'm gonna join up on, and I'm just gonna type in the URL. And just to show some of the cool functions that can be done using a peer.in. And there it's shown that I'm connecting. And there I am. So now if you had 2 students or you had 8 students, you can really allow them to chat, whether it's through distance education or whether it's in the classroom. It's just really cool. So I actually muted one of my microphones, but you can go ahead here on the right and you can just you can chat between people. And the icon shows the person who's chatting. And it shows up on different sides as to who input it. And if you do sign up, you can create your own icon and thumbnail to show who that is. So the 2 standards that I thought closely correlate to this cool technology. The first one is ISTE T3D, and that's just really exposing students and putting them in the environment of current and changing digital tools. Like I previously stated, a lot of people are apprehensive or hesitant to jump onto the e-learning bandwagon that provides so many advantages. And what this is going to allow, and it's going to allow the students to learn to communicate, and it just doesn't have to be face to face. So that's the first one. And then the second one is ISTE T2C, and that's really to create a custom, learning approach by addressing the diverse types of learning styles for every individual. So if maybe somebody learns better by visual, by seeing, somebody on the other end can maybe show them, or if they want to read, they can do that in the chat. So that's this technology. I think it's just really cool. It's going to allow for that really collaborative environment. And I'm also going to implement this in another technology that I'm going to use for this assignment as well. So with that, this is my first technology, a peer.in. It's really cool. It allows your students to communicate.